Welcome back, Focus Learners, to another explainer. Look, today we are diving into some seriously fascinating source material that lays out a literal blueprint for shattering self-sabotage. If you've ever sat there and wondered why you aren't quite where you want to be in life, well, you're absolutely in the right place. We're going to completely deconstruct the mechanics of motivation and procrastination, and we're going to build a solid blueprint for a life without excuses. So, let's jump right in.
Man, that is a heavy question, isn't it? What if the absolute biggest thing holding you back is you? It's just so easy for us to look outward when we hit a roadblock, right? We tell ourselves it's a lack of money, or maybe we didn't get the right degree, or we just haven't had that lucky break yet. But the source text points out a pretty harsh reality here. The biggest barrier? It actually isn't any of those external factors. The ultimate barrier is the excuses we literally tell ourselves every single day.
Okay, let's dive into this. I'll do it tomorrow. Those 5 simple words are arguably the most dangerous sentence in the English language. I want you to think about every dream that never became a reality, every goal you quietly abandoned, every massive opportunity that just slipped right through your fingers. Almost all of them started right here, with this one simple, incredibly dangerous phrase. It's basically the starting line for missed potential.
Because, let's be real, tomorrow is never just tomorrow, is it? Tomorrow very quickly becomes next week easily bleeds into next month, and before you even realize what's happening, poof, years have passed. And here's the truly terrifying part highlighted in the source material. While you are sitting there waiting for tomorrow, someone out there with way less talent, less experience, and fewer resources than you is actually taking action. And because they started today, they're out there achieving the exact things you're only dreaming about.
This brings us to Section 1, the excuse trap, and how we protect our ego.
So why do we do this to ourselves? The psychology behind it is actually fascinating. We don't fail because we're incapable. We fail because we are absolute masters at protecting our egos. We tell ourselves these safe lies, like saying, "I didn't have enough time," feels really safe because it deflects the blame away from us. But the harsh truth we're usually trying to avoid is simply, "I didn't work hard enough." Or instead of admitting we threw in the towel too early, we rationalize it by saying the opportunity just wasn't right for us. Excuses are incredibly dangerous, precisely because they sound so unbelievably reasonable in our own heads. They give us a free pass to avoid responsibility, and that perfectly rationalized avoidance is exactly what keeps millions of people stuck in the exact same place for years on end.
So the crucial point here is how we respond to friction. Look, successful people get tired, they face rejection, and they experience brutal self-doubt, just like the rest of us. But when ordinary people face an obstacle, they use it as a reason to stop. It literally becomes the excuse. But when successful people face that exact same obstacle, they look for ways to continue. The obstacle itself isn't the actual problem. Your response to it is everything.
Just imagine these two people. It's 6 a.m., the alarm goes off. Both of them want to improve their lives, and both are totally exhausted. Person 1 hits the button and says, "I'm too tired, I'll start tomorrow." Person 2 feels that exact same bone-deep exhaustion and says, "I'm tired, but I'm going to do it anyway." That one tiny, seemingly insignificant decision, compounded day after day, creates vastly different lives a year down the road. Success almost never comes from one massive, heroic moment. It comes from those small, really uncomfortable actions repeated every single day.
Moving on to Section 2, the hidden cost of waiting for the perfect time.
Now, what if you are making excuses about being tired, but you're just waiting for the right moment? You know, you're waiting to finally feel confident, or for this magical burst of motivation to hit you. Well, here is a major reality check from the source material. The perfect time literally never comes. If you wait until you feel 100% ready, you're going to be waiting forever. Action isn't the result of confidence. Action is the creator of confidence, motivation, and momentum. We usually just have the whole equation backwards. You don't feel ready and then act. You act, and that action is what generates the readiness you were waiting for in the first place.
Every single excuse you make, even the ones cleverly disguised as waiting for the right time, carries a really heavy hidden cost. And that price? It's your future. Every single day you delay learning a new skill, someone else out there is mastering it. Every day you delay starting that project or that business, someone else is actively building theirs. Every day you put off self-improvement, someone else is getting stronger. The world does not hit the pause button just because you're sitting around thinking about taking action. The world keeps moving forward, and it takes the action takers with it.
Which leads perfectly into Section 3, taking ownership and the power of responsibility.
So how do we actually break free from this endless cycle of excuses and waiting around? By taking absolute, unflinching responsibility.
As the source material so brilliantly points out, if your future depends on your actions, you have the power to change it. Think about it. If your situation is always someone else's fault, your boss, the economy, how you were raised, you essentially have zero control. You are rendering yourself powerless. But the minute you own your situation, you completely reclaim your power. Highly successful people just don't waste their precious energy blaming others. They spend all their time building.
And hey, building doesn't mean you have to change everything all at once. Actually, scratch that. Trying to change everything at once is a terrible idea. The secret here is just 1%. This is the 1% rule. You absolutely do not need to transform your entire life by tomorrow morning. In fact, trying to do that usually leads right back to burnout and, you guessed it, more excuses. You only need to focus on becoming just 1% better every single day.
In practice, that 1% is incredibly manageable. It's just reading 10 pages of a book. It's exercising for just 20 minutes, learning one simple new skill, or tweaking one minor habit. Now, these small improvements might seem totally insignificant on a random Tuesday afternoon, but stacked over weeks and months and years, they compound into truly extraordinary results. Consistency is going to beat intensity every single time, without fail.
When you finally embrace that kind of consistency, your whole life fundamentally changes. The exact moment you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you start asking, okay, what can I do about it? You transition from this victim mindset that's focused purely on the obstacles to an empowered mindset that is relentlessly focused on solutions. You stop waiting for someone else's permission to live your life, and you just start taking action.
Nobody is coming to save you. Wow. Nobody is coming to save you. It's a really heavy truth, isn't it? Nobody is coming to build your dream for you or magically create that future you want. That responsibility belongs entirely, 100% to you. And while that might sound a bit intimidating at first glance, the source material frames this perfectly. It is actually a profoundly beautiful thing. It means your future is entirely in your hands. You hold the pen.
And finally, Section 4, make your decision today. The blueprint is totally laid out for us. You know the trap of excuses, you know the steep cost of waiting, and you know the ultimate power of ownership. Now, it literally comes down to a choice. Right now, in this exact moment, you have two options. Choice 1, you can keep making excuses. Stay exactly where you are, remain perfectly comfortable, and just let life happen to you. Or choice 2, you can take action. Move forward even when you don't feel entirely ready. Because the truth is, the very best time to change your life was yesterday. But the second best time, it's right now.
I really want to leave you with this final, lingering thought. Just imagine yourself exactly 1 year from today. Based on the choice you make right after this explainer ends, where will you be? Will you be sitting there wishing you had started today? Or will you be looking back incredibly proud that you finally dropped the excuses and took that first brave step? The decision is absolutely yours. Start now and just keep moving forward. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, Focus Learners. I'll catch you in the next one.